welcome to Get Your Play Online. My name is Sarah Rose, and today we are going to be doing some chair yoga. Now, all you'll need for this activity is a chair. So you can do this activity sitting in any chair. Your chair can have a back, your chair can have an armrest. I'm just using the stool that I have, so it doesn't have a back or an armrest. You can do it on a couch if you'd like, or if none of those are available to you, you can just sit on the floor and do some chair yoga there. It's chair yoga, but really it's just yoga sitting down. So while you're getting set up, I'm going to share a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. So yoga itself is moving through a series of different poses or postures and really focusing on getting a good stretch and connecting the mind and body. Also connecting to your breath. So typically yoga is done standing up, but this is a great alternative to that. This is a great activity for anyone who is in school and is sitting at a desk for a really long time, or my friends who are in school virtually and are sitting in front of a computer screen all day. These stretches that I'm going to be showing you, you can pick one or two and do these stretches at your desk if you don't have time to get up and take any standing stretches. These are also great stretches for my friends who are, for whatever reason, unable to stand and move their legs for long periods of time. Whether you are in a wheelchair or it's just uncomfortable, painful, or difficult to stand and move your legs in that way. This is a great activity for you all too. So my friends, you got your stool. As always with our Get Moving segments, and anytime we're moving our body, it's always an option to have a glass of water near you. I've got mine here, just in case you need a water break. And if you need a break at any time, feel free to take a break, water, and then come right on back. Also, I want to say that these moves and postures, if at any point they are too difficult or they're just uncomfortable for your body, know that that's okay. A big part of yoga and this activity is listening to our bodies. So if it's uncomfortable for you, you can come out of the stretch or the posture and just rest with your hands on your lap and focus on your breathing. You can try to count how many seconds you're breathing in and how many seconds you breathe out. But that's another great way of using this activity, is to connect to that breath part. So I think we're ready. We're all seated in our chairs, I hope. And with that, let's get started. So my friends, as we're getting started, I want to focus a little bit on how our body feels today. It's kind of fun to see how your body feels before doing something and seeing how your body feels after doing something and comparing the two. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to do something called belly breathing. So it's just another way of noticing our breath and how our bodies change as we're breathing. So the way that we do our belly breath is we put one hand on our chest. I have my right hand on my chest. And then you're going to put your other hand on your belly. And you're just going to leave them there lightly, not really pressing down at all, just resting them there. And I'm going to turn to this side so I can show you a little bit better what it's going to look like. So as we breathe and do belly breathing, the goal is to keep this hand on our chest staying still. We want all of the breath that we breathe in to sink down into our bellies. So our belly is the only thing that's going to be moving. It's going to expand and get bigger as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, it's going to get a little bit smaller and come in closer to our body. So that means our hand that's resting on our belly will go away from our body as we breathe out in. And as we breathe out, our hand will get closer to our body. Let's try a few together. Breathe in. And breathe out. Did your hand move? Let's try it again. Breathe in. And breathe out. Let's do one more. Breathe in. And breathe out. And you can leave your hands resting on your lap now. It can be, your palms can be facing up toward the sky. They can be facing down on your lap. They can be at your sides. You get to choose where your arms rest. So before we get into moving our body, I want to check in after our breath, our belly breathing, and just notice how our body feels today. So I invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. If not, that's okay. And we're just going to take a minute and check in with our body. See how it's feeling today. We're going to start at our toes. Just notice your toes and how they feel. And then slowly work your way up the feet, up your calves, up the rest of your leg, up your belly and spine, your heart, how your heart feels today, your shoulders, your arms, all the way to the top of your head. If as you're checking your body and noticing your body, if you notice that something feels uncomfortable or a little bit off today, know that that's okay. Our bodies feel a little different day to day, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is just a chance to notice those changes if something feels a little different than yesterday, or even from this morning. We'll take one more deep breath in, and let it go. Now let's move into our first pose. So we're just going to do some neck circles, just loosen up the neck. You're going to take your nose and draw a big circle. As you're going up in your circle, you'll breathe in. And as you come down towards your chin, you'll breathe out. So let's do 3 one way, and then 3 the other. Let's try it together. Breathe in. And out. Keep going. Last one. And when your chin finds your chest, start again, just going the opposite direction. Breathe in and out. In and out. Last one. let your chin find your chest, and then bring it up to center. Great job, friends. So now we're going to do what in yoga is called a cat-cow. And this is a great stretch for our back, and it almost is a good stretch for our insides too, like massaging our insides. So we're just going to do this seated. So you can have your hands on your knees. You can have them, if you have room in your chair, you can have them on your hips. You can put your hands behind you. It's up to you where you put your hands. I'm going to have them resting on my knees. So for our cat-cow pose and posture and stretch, you're going to breathe in and look up, arching your back and bringing your chest forward as we breathe in. And then when we breathe out, we're going to bring our bellies kind of like we're trying to reach that wall that's behind us. We're going to bring our bellies in, and we're going to hunch our shoulders forward, or arch our shoulders forward as we breathe out. So let's try a couple together. Breathe in. And breathe out. Very good. As you breathe out, you can look towards your legs or your feet or the ground. Keep going on your own. Trying to move as slow as possible. Almost like you're in water. Go ahead and finish up your last one. On your next inhale, come up to center. Great job, my friends. So now we're going to do what's called mountain pose. Now, mountain pose is a very strong pose. If we think of a mountain, we think of something very strong and stable. So to do that, we're going to place our feet very firmly on the floor. To do that, you can maybe lift up your toes. I'll show you over here. You maybe lift up your toes and then one by one, let them fall to the earth. So the base of your foot is planted firmly on the floor. Your legs should be at a right angle. And we're going to sit up really tall. Imagine that there is an invisible string coming from the top of your head. And that invisible string is gently pulling you to sit as tall as you can. Imagine that as there's this string pulling you up tall, there are two tiny weights on your shoulder, on each shoulder, gently bringing your shoulders down, just so they're away from the ears. And then with your hands, you're going to spread your fingertips really wide and bring them out to your side. If you're unable to do this in your chair, you can bring them to rest on your hands or on your lap, but make sure that there's still a lot of energy in the hands. And just take a moment to notice. See if you notice your belly getting bigger and then coming back in towards your body as you breathe. Think back to when we were checking in with our body. If there were any spots that were uncomfortable, take a moment to see how they feel in this posture. And then we'll take one more breath together. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring your hands to rest gently on your lap. Great job, friends. So now we're going to do a good stretch for our arms. I'm going to come a little bit closer so you can see how my hands are going to look once we get there. So what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in and bring your hands from left to right, all the way up and above your head. Your hands are going to come together like this, and I'm just getting up to show you. So you're going to interlace your fingers all together, and then from there you're going to take your index finger, both of them, and press them together. So it's almost like you're pointing up toward the sky, but just with your index finger. So that's what your hands look like as they come up and above your head. Think back to our mountain pose with that string above your head, or string on top of your head, and that weight on your shoulders. Looping your shoulders down. Breathing in and out. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, let your hands go. And just as they came up, you're going to come down to rest at your sides. Now we're going to do a seated forward fold. If a forward fold is bending over above your legs. If this is uncomfortable for you at all, or it's just not something that you're feeling like doing today, that's totally fine. What you can do is you can practice belly breathing again, really focusing on, you can focus on how your heart is beating, and notice the warmth of your chest too. And practice that breathing in and out. For my friends who are doing forward folds, our hands are coming down. Let's actually do that together. So our hands will come up from left to right, all the way up top. The hands can press together just like this. And as you breathe out, they're going to come down but forward. Kind of like you're painting a wall in front of you. And with your head, imagine you're looking over the edge of something, or you're looking like over the edge of a pond, or looking into a pool. And we're just going to let our hands hang level toward the floor. If they don't touch the floor, I'll show you, my hands do not touch the floor, but that's okay. You can just let them hang loose. And then we're going to let our head go and relax. A big thing with doing this in a chair is making sure that your seat stays on the chair. If you start to lift up out of the chair, you've gone too far. So just go slowly, making sure you breathe as you go. In this posture, it's really cool to see how, as we breathe in, not just our belly gets bigger, but our backs almost get bigger. They expand as well. And on your next inhale, bring your arms to rest on your knees. And slowly roll up back to center. Great job, friends. Alright, my friends, now we're just going to do some twists. This is a good way to stretch out the back. So We're gonna take one hand, I'm taking my right hand, I'm gonna put it on my left leg, and then I'm gonna take my left hand and bring it around directly behind my back. It's like right in the middle of my chair behind me. If this is not comfortable for you, or your chair is a little bit narrower and it's difficult to get all the way behind there, you can grab onto an armrest that with your leg. Imagining that string pulling us up tall. And as we breathe out, we're going to try to look over our left shoulder. Now you may not get very far, and that's okay. This pose is about being very gentle and just honoring where our bodies are today. Let's breathe in. And as we breathe out, unravel and come back to center. Now we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to take my left hand this time, place it on my right leg. My right hand is going to go behind me, right in the middle of my chair. And I'm going to breathe in. And as we exhale, we're going to try to look over our right shoulder. On your next exhale, unravel and come back to center. So our last pose, well, our second to last pose, is what's known in yoga as the Pigeon Pose. We're going to be doing it sitting down though. And this is a great stretch for the hips, for the back, for your legs. So you're going to keep kind of like how we did our mountain pose, with your feet firmly on the floor. You're going to take, I'm taking my right leg. You can use your hands to gently guide your leg up to cross, with your ankle crossing over your left leg. Just the ankle. We want there to be some space between our legs. So if this is unavailable to you, what you can do is continue to do those side stretches. You can try to do a forward fold, just keeping in mind needing to have your seat on the chair when you're doing your forward fold. Even if you don't make it very far, it still stretches that lower back, and it is a great stretch for, it's a good stretch for the lower back, which is an area that we will be stretching with this as well. Or you can do some belly breathing. So once you have your leg placed here, what you're going to do is sit up tall, take both hands, and just rest them on this part of your leg, the calf. And then, like our forward fold, we're going to peek over the edge of something and gently bring our chest forward, trying to get it over our leg. Imagining that it's going to go over our leg. But again, like our forward fold, your seat needs to be in the chair. So if you start to fall out of the chair, take a step back and try again. So if you don't go very far over your leg, that's okay. This is as far as I can go today, and it's a little different than how it was yesterday, but that's okay. Just accepting where your body is at today. On your next exhale, we're going to unravel. So you can take your foot and guide it back toward the ground. And then we're going to do the other side. So take your left foot and cross that ankle over your right leg. If it's available to you, you can flex your foot here. If it's not, that's okay. We're going to take our hands, place them on our shin or our calf. And then as we breathe in, we're going to look over the edge, bringing our chest forward, and just noticing how this feels. Sometimes when a muscle feels really tight, it can be kind of hard to stretch. It can feel a little uncomfortable. In those moments, it's really helpful to breathe and take deep breaths. I like to imagine that as I'm breathing in, I'm sending that breath to whatever muscle is feeling uncomfortable. And that can sometimes help it feel a little less uncomfortable. On your next exhale, unravel and bring your leg to rest gently on the floor. Great job, my friend. So to wrap up, we're just going to be in a resting pose. So this is however you feel most comfortable and at peace. If you're in a chair like me, where there's no back or sides, you can bring your feet up and cross your legs. If you are in a chair with a back, you can rest and lean back. Just get comfortable. Take a minute to notice how your breath has changed, if at all. Maybe try doing a couple belly breaths on your own. Taking a moment to be grateful for the chance to move our bodies today. Alright, my friends, if you're sitting cross-legged, I invite you to just very quickly bring your feet back down to the ground, and we're going to do another body check-in to see if our body feels different than before we started, when we did this before we did any yoga poses. Just comparing the two and seeing how your body feels now. So I invite you to close your eyes, and just like we did before, think about your toes and how your toes feel. Moving up your body, seeing how your feet feel, how your calves feel, how the tops of your legs feel, how your belly feels, how your spine feels, how your heart feels, how your arms and hands feel, how your shoulders feel, how your neck feels, how your nose feels, how your forehead feels, all the way to the top of your head. Just notice. And to end, we're going to take one final deep breath in together. I'm going to cross my legs to do so, because this is the position where I feel most comfortable. So get into a comfortable position. Breathe in. And out. Thank you so much for joining me for our movement, mindfulness, and music activity today. I hope you had fun doing chair yoga with me. I know that I had a lot of fun doing it with you all. So my friends, until next time, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.